Hello everyone, welcome to Edimoon Tutorials. Myself O Divya and currently I'll be teaching M3. So we'll start with complex analysis topic. It covers unit 4, 5, 6 and 7 of our syllabus of M3. Actually this complex analysis is placed in M5, which is only for EC people before years, but from last year they changed it into M3. So this complex analysis is separated into complex differentiation, complex integration, two parts. Like how we find a differentiator, how we define limit, continuity, differentiability and integration over a normal for a real axis, for a real number. In the same way we define this limit, continuity, differentiation, integration for a complex number. Okay, so that's what we go throughout this complex analysis. So first our unit 4, I'll be starting with this is complex differentiation. This is the syllabus topics: introduction to limit and continuity of f of z, derivative of f of z, Cauchy-Riemann equations, analytic functions, harmonic functions, orthogonal functions. These are the applications. So today's topics, these topics I'll be discussing in this video. We'll just go through the intro of a complex analysis so that we'll be perfect for our next throughout the other topics. It will be easy for us. Next, limit and continuity of f of z and derivative of f of z and analytic function. Like for a real number, like we say, this is differentiability of the differentiability we define. In the same way here for a complex function we define it by analytic function. We'll start and go cool. It's fine. First, we need to know about a complex function. Okay, this is our main thing which we deal with throughout the everything we define for a complex function only. So before knowing a complex function, let's know about a complex number. This we all know. Like we write a plus ib, the real part plus imaginary part form. In the same way, here we define a complex number with the indication z, which is equals to x plus iy. So this is our complex number which is written in real part plus imaginary part. This is the real part and y will be the imaginary part. I is iota, we all know, which is equal to root over minus 1. Okay, let's represent it in an axis. This will be x axis and this will be y axis. Real axis, imaginary axis. For example, if there is a point like this 2, 3, okay, so how do we write? This is x and y. So z equals to x plus iy, 2 plus i3. Simple, just. So a complex number means we know this complex form, a real part plus imaginary part, in that way. So we'll define a complex function with w equals to f of z. Okay, so the definition of a complex function means it is a function of a complex number. Okay, simple. Here z is what? Complex number. So what is a complex function? Which is a function of a complex number or a complex variable. You can write it as, this will be also complex, right? So a real part plus imaginary part, or is simply u plus iv. This will be real, imaginary. Okay, so here also we will have axis u, v, real axis, imaginary axis. So a complex function means a function of a complex number. That's it. So here our z is dependent on x and y, and w which is dependent on z. Okay, so u and v will also be a functions of x and y. Simple. This is about a complex function. Okay, so next we'll discuss about limit. So how do we define a limit? We define everything for this function, so called complex function w equals to f of z. we'll define limit, continuity, everything for this particular function. Okay, this is our complex function, right? Just now we discussed. So our complex function. So for that complex function, we are defining limit, continuity, differentiability, and everything, all things. So limit z tends to z0, f of z equals to some value. I'll explain this clearly. We have mathematical definitions for everything. A function w equals to f of z, like our complex function, it is set to tend to a limit L as z approaches a point z0. If for every real epsilon we can find a positive delta such that mod f of z minus L is less than epsilon and mod z minus z0 is less than delta. That is, for every z not equals to z0, delta disk in z plane, f of z has a value lying in the epsilon disk of the w plane. Symbolically we write it in this form. Limit z tends to z0, f of z equals to L. This is all trash. This is just the mathematical definition, so it finds difficult for us. So simply a limit means like we define this now. So this is our z plane, as I've showed you before, x axis and y axis real imaginary, and our w plane, complex function plane and the complex number plane, u and v. Okay, so we are finding the limit when z is tending to z0 of the function f of z. This function is actually in the w plane, but it is dependent on the z plane. Okay, so we'll have a limit L. If we find out this limit, you'll get this. Simply just we'll given a function, you need to define the limit of that function. That's it. Normal way we actually define like limit x tends to or some infinity or 0 or something, and you'll define it like a single variable. But here it is a 2D. Z tends to z0. Z means x and y. So we do it like x tends to 0 and y tends to 0 limit, and we find out. We'll see an example. Don't worry for that. And next, continuity. So what is continuity? This everything we define for w equals to f of z, as I told. So a function w equal to f of z is said to be continuous at z equals to z0 if limit z tends to z0 of f of z is equals to f of z0. Like that means we are finding the limit value. We will get a value that should be equal when you substitute that particular point in the given function. Then it is said to be continuous. Okay, and also few points, just few points. If you need to define a function continuous in a particular region, okay, some region, or you need to define the continuity of that function in this region. Then that function should be continuous at every point in that region, including z0. Okay, not even z0, even the neighborhood of the z0 point also it should be continuous. That's it. When you do examples, we'll get clarity, so don't worry for now. I'm just giving an intro, warm-up kind. So when we are defining this w equals to f of z continuity, if this function is continuous, even u and v will be continuous, obviously. So that's it. Okay, so limit and continuity is, that's it. And next we'll go into derivative of f of z. Derivative is nothing but differentiability. So for the function w equals to f of z, defined for all z in the neighborhood of z0, if limit delta z tends to 0, f of z0 plus delta z minus f of z0 by delta z exists. If this such a kind of limit exists, then the function is said to be derivative of at the point delta z0. So we'll see. We are saying it derivative, right? So f dash of z0, like we represent it as derivative function. So if this f dash of z0 exists, it is called as the derivative of f of z at z0. So like we'll first write the formula. In this thing we need to consider this z minus z0 as delta z. That is nothing but z equals to delta z plus z0 for our convenience. So we need to substitute these things in here. So the limit z will be tending to z0, f of z minus f of z0 by delta z is nothing but z minus z0. So this is our differentiability equation, f dash of z0. Okay, This is the derivative of the function f of z. Limit you're doing for what? When z is approaching z naught. Everything for this only will find the point z naught. F of z minus f of z naught by z minus z naught. So if this particular limit exists, then only we say that our function is differentiability or derivative at a particular point z naught. That's it. This is very important actually, this derivative. For defining an analytic function, we need this derivative. Okay. So our analytic function, we just have seen derivative, right? You need to remember that. So for a function to be derivable at every point of z in an epsilon neighborhood of z naught. Okay, he's saying that f dash of z is exists for all z. That's it. A derivative of that particular function is existing. Then f of z is said to be analytic at that function. Okay, so as I said in the starting, like in real axis we define differentiability, derivative of some real number. In the same way here in complex function or this complex analysis, if a function is derivative or it is a derivable, if that limit exists, if derivative of that particular function exists, then the function is said to be analytic. Okay, so analytic functions are also called as regular or holomorphic functions. These are the other names for our analytic function. First of all, what is an analytic function? If a function f of z is derivable at a point z naught, that is f dash of z exists for all z, then the function is said to be analytic at z naught. Okay, the other names are regular function and holomorphic functions. Next, if f of z is analytic at every point of z on the complex plane, then f of z is said to be an entire function. Like you have a plane, like we are still now it is saying that at the z naught only it is derivable. So if that function is analytic at every point on our plane, at every point in a given region or in a given plane, then it is said to be an entire function. Okay, some few definitions. These are small definitions. Okay, like the other names, analytic entire function, you may get it for 2 marks also in your exams. Next, if f dash of z exists at every point in the neighborhood. Okay, you are taking a region. Okay, this is z naught and it exists in the neighborhood. The derivative of that function exists in the neighborhood, but what? F dash of z naught is not existing. Okay, f dash of z naught does not exist. Then this particular point z naught is said to be isolated singular point of f of z. I will repeat. So you are about to find the derivative, okay, for a particular point z naught in a particular region. So if this f dash of z, this derivative function exists in the neighborhood of this point, but at that point the derivative does not exist, then this particular point is called as isolated singular point of f of z. That's it. We'll do problems in the next video. So for today we have discussed about introduction to our complex function. Means I've told about z plane and w plane, z equals to x plus iy and w equals to u plus iv, which are a complex number and a complex function, and the limit and continuity. It's just so simple, like how we define for real numbers only. Limit z tends to z naught f of z, you get a value L, and if it's equals to f of z naught, it will be continuity. And the derivative, these are important. Okay, if a function is said to be derivative, then it is called as an analytic function. That's it, simple. And we'll do problems regarding this analytic function. There are many problems and we'll go through CR equations and anything in the next video. Thank you so much.